Welcome to Passengers United. You're here for the open house at 7 p.m. Please stand by, we will begin shortly.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Passengers United Open House. My name is Charlton D'Souza. I'm the president of Passengers United, and I am so honored to be hosting this open house, this virtual open house tonight, which is one of many that we'll be doing for the community in the areas that we serve in the New York City metro area, in New Jersey, Long Island, and Connecticut. So I just want to thank, before we even do anything, I want to thank special thanks to Jack Nyberg. Jack, you've done a wonderful job, Jack, and we're just so proud of you just for everything that you've done tonight. Jack Nyberg put this Zoom event together, and we do want to introduce some of the members of the team. But before we do that, I think Jack wants to say a few words, so let's Jack do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlton. I am, again, I'm humbled to serve as our Vice President of Communications and Community Outreach. Again, I want to welcome everyone to our first virtual open house. So glad you're here. And I know I didn't really prepare anything for tonight. I just wanted to express my gratitude to everyone who made this possible, everyone who is here with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I do want to also apologize. We've been so busy because of the incident on Sunday. I'm sure many of you saw the newscast. We did a press conference Sunday. So the importance of volunteers at Passengers United, it is so important to have a team of volunteers. And just so you all know, none of us get paid. We're all volunteers here at Passengers United for the moment, for the time. But what we do is we do a lot of outreach. So why don't we pass it along to Christopher? Christopher is our great ADA vice president. He deals with ADA compliance with the New York City subway system, Long Island Railroad, Metro North, and also Port Authority and PATH and the air train issues along with Amtrak. So Chris, take it away. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I already am, Charles. I'm right one ahead of you. Good evening, everyone. Some of you already know who I am, Christopher D. Greif. I hope everyone, thank you for coming. It is important that we continue advocating for accessibility. We do need, everyone's assistance, help, because we cannot do this alone. We do need to advocate, encourage a lot of people who are seniors and people with disabilities. It is very important that we do this to help our fellow people who are traveling on the trains, the buses. And we see issues with elevators, ramps that sometimes do get crumbling. Signages are not in the right places. We do need that, we always need eyes and ears. And there are ways of doing that. With Charles as the president of the Passengers United, but I will, as a new accessibility, I will be keeping advocating where I can do and help my fellow people with disabilities and our seniors community as well, because we do need to work together to keep our transit system running smoothly, healthy, and safely. And we can do that all together to do that. I am going to put up my PowerPoint a little bit to give some updates. And as you are aware, this month is Disability Pride Month, which is called the ADA 32. July 26th is the day that not the first, President George Bush was the previous president. It was the president of their, did sign in on July 26th. So we do want to thank his father very much who did this. I am going to share my screen at the same time. And I know someone's been having a little microphone issues, which we know she doesn't have to worry. Just let me know if you see my screen, Charles or Jack.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. I'm going to make it very simple to everyone here. As you see me a lot on other places in different hats. Yes, as Charles mentioned my other titles, but I'm also a member of the Advisory Committee on Transit Accessibility, which is called ACTA, that represents the subways and buses and helps out. I'm also a member of the Long Island Railroad ADA Task Force, and I do acting right now for Metro North right now because my colleague, Edith Prentice, who passed away, was one of the great members. And right now, I am going to make sure my foot is on that railroad as well to make sure those stations are ADA accessible and safety as well on this. So as we did celebrate the ADA compliance, and I'm going to start my screen a little bit so people can see, because I'm seeing people looking at me, they can't see. So I am going to make my screen a little more enlargement so everyone can see. But as I'm talking at the same time, as we've been just last month with the governor and the advocates and the MTA, we finally did a settlement that MTA, we're not going to be suing the MTA regarding the elevators. As we are getting elevators, and right now we had a list called the key stations. We're only up to the last key station, and that's in Manhattan right now on the Lex line. Hunter College is the last station, and that is being worked on as we speak. We are getting ready to work on other stations that are in the new list that is being worked on a little faster, but a little more making sure the stations are truly ADA accessible. So the advocates are here today, Exact One. As I mentioned, Edith Prentice was part of the plaintiff. We will miss her very much, but as all of us here, we do take things very seriously. So we do want to make sure this is one victory that we will keep an eye on from now until the year 2055. So please always make sure that. Now, we did celebrate another elevator that was on the list. It's actually the 99th elevator, which is Livonia on the L train. This was on the list of the key stations, which is actually, you could call it a halfway done. The L train, which is the Livonia and Brooklyn in the border between Oceanside and Brownsville and coming into East New York, is one of the truly accessible stations on the L. Soon the 3 train will be joining us into the station, and transfer connection to accessibility will be added in as well. But as I said, this is halfway done, and we will continue advocating for this. But we also need to remind ourselves, advocating is very important to keep trains, buses, accessorized, everything ADA accessible for safety, but solve the problem carefully as well. Now, one thing we are getting ready for all customers who are seniors and people with disability. It is your turn as the reduced fare customers, as Omni is coming in. Right now, you may see this information going around. This is one way of getting onto Omni. You will see those machines at train stations, bus stops, and much more coming in soon. Right now, the full fare is on, but soon reduced fare will be joining in, not just with the card, but the app as well on the phone. We are reminding you guys to please make sure that you update your information. If you've been using your reduced fare MetroCard during this time, then you're in good shape, but we do need you to do step 1 procedure, and I will make sure. This is the information here called the reduced fare mta.info/Omni registration. So one thing we are mentioning that the number one thing that when you get on there, they're going to ask you to please have your name, your last name, date of birth, an email address. Now, note, if you have accessorized and you already have an email address, you can use that also with your Omni account, because Accessorize will also have an Accessorize Omni card, which you can have it 2 cards in 1 account, or 3 if they ever come up with another card. But it's there for a reason, and it's there to help you. Once you do that, under your name, there is an ID number under your card. Please use that ID number. Once you put that in, you should be on the next step of choosing the card, the app, your choice. Once you decide what you want, you click on the green button, you click on the submit button. The submit button will see a green color. means you're all good, you're all set, you're fantastic, you passed it. If they send you an email or the color is not in a different color, that means you have A, not used your card, B, your information has not been updated, or C, your card expired and you have not updated your card. There are still ways of still updating your information and still get your card in. And you can still redo this again to make sure your information is updated. There is no rush to do it at this time. Now, it is very simple. If you have already, your information has not been updated, because say like you change your address, your phone numbers, you can always print out the page 1 on the MTA website or go to the reduced fare vehicles and any location in the 5 boroughs. And please note, not Westchester, because right now the Beeline buses are free and the reduced fare vehicles are suspended until September of this year, 2022. So please make sure that you all follow these steps, and I can always help anyone who needs to follow these steps. It's not that hard to do. It does give encouragement to people the choice. The app, the card, and it's all reduced fare, $1.35. And there will be more features coming in soon. This card will be a card that you can use soon on Long Island Railroad and Metro North. And more surprises coming up soon, which we'll find out very soon. I hope I helped everyone today. And please make sure you do all these links that you have right here. It is better to email me if you have any questions, or please visit these links on the mta.info/accessibility, the new omni.info, and as I said earlier, to do the phase 1 procedure of Omni, it's reducedfare.mta.info/omni-registration. You can also just click in on Google Omni Reduced Fare, which is OMNY Reduced Fare. And automatically you click on the first one. There you go. I hope that helped everyone. And please, let's also remember, it is very important. We are going to start a committee for the accessibility coming up this fall. And if you are interested, please let us know. Your thoughts, your strength. We always need ideas, and we need to make sure that our subways, our buses, our railroads, as well as buses and accessorides, which is AAR, are truly helping the seniors and people with disabilities. So please, let's work together, and let's try to keep advocating for proper transportation in the New York region, as well as Connecticut, New Jersey, and Long Island. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Can all of you see me? Yes?
Yes, Charles, we can see you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to charge up my iPad and I had to switch the camera
So much
around. Sorry.
information.
All right, guys. So we have that. So you're probably wondering, what do the volunteers at Passengers United do? Well, we have different types of volunteers for different types of positions. So what today's meeting is, we also need volunteers for the Queens Bus redesign. And we have some, I see we have some new faces here, which I've never seen before. I would love to welcome Ginny Hoffman. Welcome to the Zoom chat. I see you waving. I also wanted to welcome Andrew Kurzweil, or Kurzweil, or Kurzweil. I hope I pronounced that properly. Hello, nice to see you.
Kurzweil. Kurzweil.
Kurzweil. Nice to see you.
Kurzweil.
Kurzweil.
Yeah, he's
All right.
wild. He's wild.
And Joey Jiang is with us. Eric from the College Point Civic is with us. Thank you, Eric, as always. Eric, did you want to say a few words?
Well, I just want to say thanks for having this open house. I'm just here taking notes just to spread it to the other civics and just to the community at large. And hopefully we'll have more volunteers, not only for the redesign during this summer, but also people more involved when it comes to transportation.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah. So in College Point, we had the big Queens Bus meeting there. You know, Eric did a wonderful job. The whole College Point community came through for us. Everyone did. And we were so grateful to them. And we were able to get out there, do an in-person event. And we're going to be heading back out to College Point because I definitely want to ride those buses out there. So what I want to
Hey,
talk
Charles,
about.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You did have one more person here. Her name was Deborah Greif. Her,
Oh,
her-
she disappeared from the screen. I do apologize. I'm
it's
sorry
not
about
you,
that.
Charles. I can tell you right now. She just sent me a message. She had to sign out because she had her tablet wasn't working properly. She said, "Please apologize," but she said, "Thank you for inviting her." She will be attending some of the Passengers United stuff.
Oh, tell your mom thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank
Please
you,
understand.
Deborah.
Please, yeah. I already told her, so since it's on recording, it's duty noted. But I do have the question for her about something that she did, which she wanted me to bring up to your attention. So
Sure.
we'll do that later.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so we have different types of volunteer positions that we need. We need people for the Queens bus redesign. So what does that involve? That involves, giving out flyers, talking to passengers on your bus, or talking to passengers on the subway, and just telling them about what's going on with the bus redesign, talking to our senior citizens at your church, at your local center. That is so important. And by getting the word out, because the other organization that's out there, and they have millions and millions of dollars. The director makes $65,000. No one sees them at meetings, and they've put out bus ads all over Queens supporting the bus redesign, and it's very disrespectful to people in our community because. As I'm a Queens bus rider, all of us ride the buses. We know our bus routes better than any of these outside advocates who don't live in our community. And that's why Passengers United was created. It was created by people who ride the subway, who ride the buses, who just got fed up of being spoken down to by outside groups. So what we're trying to do is reinvent the wheel. We're trying to bring in new leadership, and we're doing a pretty good job. In fact, we've been attending all the MT board and committee meetings now for the last 3 years. I've actually been a bus organizer and a transportation organizer for 15 years now. And all of us came together, all of us, and we were able to put Passengers United together and get this going. So I'm just so honored to be with all of you. And so we need volunteers for that. And then we also need volunteers, in general, just to help us with errands at Passengers United. That could be setting up a table at a community event, giving out brochures, telling people what we do at Passengers United. And then we also have executive membership positions that we're looking to fill right now. But, do you have to have a college degree to help us? No, not necessarily. All you have to do is have a willingness to care, be a bus rider, be a subway rider, and just be passionate about public transportation and passionate about serving your community. I think at the end of the day, that's what counts. And I'm sorry, guys, the lighting is bad. I think the lighting went out. Sorry about that. Oops. Can you all see me now?
Yes, Charles, we definitely can see you. Charles, one thing that we also need to remind everyone that we have received also people concerned of accessibility problems with not just on the subways and buses and railroads, well, one half of railroad, but also the Port Authority, because there is some concerns with the Port Authority. Like example, the AirTrain, $8.
Yeah, we're going to get into
CMC
all of that later,
Yeah.
Chris. Let me just focus on the breakdown because Jack has to do a quick thing too. So, Jack, why don't we do one of the executive position spots that we're looking for, Jack?
Yes, so as far as I know, there's one position that we have open right now, and that is the Vice President of Leadership Development and Recruitment. And again, this is a non-paid position. This is a volunteer executive position for our team. So I'm just going to read this. This job is for an exceptional woman who can recruit, lead, motivate, and organize the activities and agenda of Passengers United. This job requires a lot of oversight and is demanding, and therefore the individual must have good communication skills and be highly motivated. So what does this position entail? The Vice President of Leadership Development and Recruitment will be responsible for recruiting interns, new women members, long-term volunteers, creating a hybrid Women's Leadership Forum and award ceremony in mid-April, which could be either virtual or in person. This vice president must be able to recruit members of the community who ride buses in Queens for the 2022 Queens Bus Redesign Project, which we've been hearing a lot about recently. And overall recruitment will be conducted by social media, posters in community centers, and individual referrals by recruitment on college campuses. This vice president also must be able to communicate with the board of directors and executive director, Charlton, right now, on progress with enrollment totals, diversity and recruitment goals on a weekly basis by emails or phone calls. And help will be provided by the entire team using our in-house design web applications, forms, and posters. Furthermore, the vice president is charged with following and implementing policies in accordance with our mission statement, which relates to our programs and the organization's principles. The vice president must be able to serve as a liaison by working with the executive director to monitor membership, process volunteer forms, and conduct orientation. The vice president will also be responsible for organizing special events for ongoing projects, like the Queens Bus Network redesign. In terms of the time commitment for this position, it'll be 1 year. The meetings will take place once a month, and emails and phone calls will be required 5 times per week, or more depending on the volume of the organization and events that are taking place. So what are the qualifications for this position? As Charlton, you mentioned, this does not require a college degree. You must, however, have a high school diploma and have accumulated at least 60 college credits. So as far as I know, you must have, you must be in your, probably, I think your junior standing, something like that. You must have 60 college credits accumulated. And you also have to be proficient in Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Access. You also must have strong entrepreneurial skills, be ambitious and independent. You also must be willing to learn new things and have taken an intro to business class and have a financial understanding of the industry. Please note that you will get free extensive training, which will be provided in nonprofit management and also within state and federal guidelines. So if you are interested in this position, please email your resume in a Word format. The email is on the screen right now. It's charltoncaresinc@yahoo.com. And for more information, please call 347-869-8786. That is Charlton's number. And the link will be also be posted in the chat. I will post everything in the chat following this presentation. So we are looking for our Vice President of Leadership Development and Recruitment. Back to you, Charlton.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. So we have that. And now you're probably wondering, is this like a part-time thing? It is. Obviously, we know people have full-time jobs. I also work a regular job, and all of us are busy. So the goal is, is we're bringing in volunteers. And this is a great opportunity for someone who needs an internship, who needs a good recommendation letter. So this is the type of opportunities we're trying to build for members of the community. Because, we have so many people who are out there riding the buses, riding things. And that's the type of leadership that we want to provide at Passengers United. So we do have 2 or 3 other positions that we're trying to fill now. And in the coming days, we'll be updating our social media channels, our website, and all of that. So it's now, we're now getting on to 7:27. So what we wanted to do was we just wanted, questions. We wanted to take a few questions and open it up to you guys, because I'm sure you have questions. So Jenny Hoffman, would you have any questions? Or would you like to make any comments or?
Yes, I would like a question. Can I ask now?
Sure.
Okay, my question is, I joined this meeting mostly. I saw your, I got into the meeting because I saw your ad, for this. But what I want to know is the Omni Disability Pass for reduced fare for disability and for seniors, because Right now I have a MetroCard for me and my mother. We both have separate MetroCards. I'm disability reduced fare. My mother's senior reduced fare. In the beginning, you spoke about signing up for Omni and getting the reduced fare. Could I have that web, that whatever that web thing to go to get my my applications or
can
whatever?
you-
in?
I'm just putting it up right now because we were waiting for that. But in case someone had a question, I was going to put it up. I will put it into the link right now. But as I said before, you can also Google it onto reduced fare OMNY, and automatically you will see that application. You already have a
Okay.
MetroCard, so you're
Okay, so
And on-
reduced fare MONY.
you left out the
info-
OMNY. It's O is an ox, M is in Mary, N is in Nancy, Y is a yo-yo.
And it's .info, and they'll have a
No, you
reduced
don't have
fare.
to go on info.
place.
That's another way of putting into Google, but I will put the link on right now.
Okay, listen, I might have to go through Google, but I will have to go through Google. I'm only learning this like online stuff for like 2 years. I have no prior experience.
Understood. I'm gonna send you the link, so automatically the link will just put you on right there.
And will that be at the end of the meeting?
I'm putting it in right now.
So will it still be there at the end of the meeting, or what's gonna happen?
That's something, Jack and Charles, can you answer that question?
Yeah, we can definitely get back to you, but right now it's in the chat. You know how to use the chat
Okay, go
icon
ahead.
on the top?
Okay, I'll mute mine so others can chat.
No, if you see the chat on the top of the Zoom, you see it there? Look on the top, right on the top, on the, I believe it's on the right side.
The green
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
The green thing, right?
Jack,
Do you want
can
me to-
you,
So, do you see the icon that says chat? It's like a little speech
I see
bubble.
it, I see, it says Zoom, and on the, there's an arrow on the right, there's a green sign on the left. I don't see a chat icon anywhere.
What about on the bottom?
Okay, on the bottom, it says mute, stop video, share, participants, and more, and there's a number 8 in there. Is that the one?
If you click on more, see if chat shows up.
Okay. It says chat 8. Is that the one to click on?
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, just chat.
Right now? Right now? Okay.
Yes, so that's where everything is.
Okay, all right, okay. So,
Jill, do you also have an email address?
me?
Yes.
Yes, I do have a Gmail address. I only have a smartphone. I don't have a PC. You want my
No,
Gmail
no.
address?
A small phone. I just asking, do you have an email address? I can email you the link.
Yeah, please do, please do. Where can I give you my email address?
If you found the chat box, you can put it into the chat, and then I'll just copy it and put it in right to the email.
Okay, but it says send to everyone. Is everyone gonna get my email address?
yeah, probably so.
You can also actually, yeah, I think that's. You might be able to send a direct message to the host if there's an option that says Passengers United, and you can just
Okay.
send that there.
Okay, so I see, okay, all right. Oh, I got right here. It says the link for the Omni registration.
There
Okay.
you go. Got it.
Okay, I
Okay,
got it.
okay, thank you so much. Can all of you hear me? So now let's move to Andrew. Would you like to say a few words?
Basically, I'm a longtime transit advocate. I do a lot of work with Chris and people with disabilities. accessibility initiatives citywide, system-wide, also numerous. We also I do some nationwide work in other, where we're needed, and look out for it in other states and some other systems. And I think that's about all I need at the moment.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. Joy Jong, would you like to say a few words? Going once, going twice, going three times. Joy. Okay, Joy wanted to know, when are we coming to Suffolk? Joy, we're trying very hard right now. It's a lot of stuff going on. As you know, guys, we're all over the place. We will definitely get to you guys. So Eric, did you want to say a few words on, why it's so important for College Point to have volunteers for the Queen's Bus redesign?
Well, what I would say to that is that since we all know that College Point is abandoned in certain aspects when it comes to like city development, bus redesign, with everything that that's going on, it's important to have the communities that are considered to be abandoned to speak up, and especially when it comes to College Point, when we're having a problem with bus redesign, specifically that we don't have a problem with the bus routes, just with the frequency, but with the city responding as it's responding with this redesign, it's basically not representing us or our best interests. So it's important that people in the community get involved and be able to speak out about certain aspects of the redesign that are affecting College Point, and to make sure that the city knows about this and that we're heard.
Thank you so much, Eric. So civic and community engagement is so important. And I always tell bus riders this: don't let the elected officials and the special interest groups invade your community and take away your rights, because that's what seems to be happening. And many of these people who live in these other groups are not engaged with us. So it is very important for groups and organizations like Passengers United to exist. And I'm so proud to be leading this effort. I'm so proud of all the leadership, from Jack, from Christopher. It's just a great thing. And all the support we've gotten from Eric, from the College Point community. So do you guys have any questions about, any questions that you want to answer tonight?
Excuse me, Charles. There was one question that, remember I mentioned you that Deborah Greif was supposed to be on, but she had a problem. She wanted me to read her question.
Okay, let's do that.
And I know there was a chat. There's two chats mentioning about the accessori one, and I'll get back to that. And I know Andrew has his hand up too. Ms. Greif, who's also a customer, but is also a member of the Long Island Railroad ADA Task Force, and deals with her title as chair of the Advisory Council in Brooklyn. But the main concern she's having is number one, Metro North that do not follow the ADA regulation, and she has the right to complain because she is a accessible customer, not a bike rack. Second, Port Authority. Why is the air train $8 and not accepting the reduced fare price? This is also the PATH train. They can do that for the seniors, but the people with disabilities, our veterans, and as well as our, let me remind everyone, every person who's in a wheelchair, walker, cane, should have the same right to get on any train, any bus, and any vehicle. And we don't have to say accessory or AAR. The main concern is buses and trains. You have to follow the ADA regulations. That's why there's called it federal law. Please let's please do something about the Port Authority once and for all. Deborah Greif.
I agree with you. I agree with you on this. And, I'm just appalled with what's going on with the Port Authority. I think it's a disgrace. And we are going to be organizing, me and Chris have had meetings about this, numerous voice chats, calls, and definitely we are very committed to this at Passengers United. It is something that really outrages me. And it's also unfair. I think that it's discrimination blatantly that's going on. And I don't know why the MTA, because the MetroCard is their card. It's their piece of media, fair media, but it's being used on the PAT trains and there's no reduced, opportunity. Same thing with the SmartLink cards. There's issues with that. They do have a SmartLink reduced fare card on PAT, but it's not advertised. Nobody knows about it. And you cannot buy a single ride. That's the issue. That's discrimination. You should be able to get a reduced fare single ride anytime, anywhere in the Port Authority system, as well as the PATH, AirTrains, Newark, AirTrain, GFK. So these are definitely discrimination issues that must be looked into. I know Andrew has his hands up. Does that answer your question for now, Chris?
We'll talk. It's for now, but just remind you, it's not just MTA. If Port Authority is going to use our signals or stuff, we can discuss more later.
Right. I know Andrew had his hand up, so let's get to Andrew.
Okay. Question. Okay, you were talking about you having problems with the elected officials. Are you going to the elected officials beforehand? Because you need to get them on board before anything else. That way you co-opt them before they get co-opted by somebody else.
So we do have a robust communication with elected officials. In fact, we've done such a good job. We've reached out to all sides of the aisle. We actually, and I hate to say this, but we get a lot of support. We're getting more support from the right side than the left side, which is really sad. And the sad part of that is, there's a lot of money, a lot of corruption going on, but we tend to change that. And the way we change that is by organizing and mobilizing. And that's why it's so important for us to really build up Passengers United and to really tell these electeds, listen, if you're not going to help us, we'll help ourselves. And you know what? We will vote you out of office. Now, we're not supposed to do any electioneering here at Passengers United or anything because we're a nonprofit. I'm not saying any names. I'm not implying anything. But what I am saying is that, we do need to get in all their faces because a lot of these electeds do not ride the buses. They're getting money from organizations like StreetsPAC that's giving them campaign contributions. And they're basically owned by, the special interest groups. That's what's going on. There is some developments happening with the electeds, with the Queensborough president, which I have good news on, which I will discuss at a further meeting after I've met with him. And, I've heard his side of the story. I'll say that. Does anyone else have a comment? Joy, did you have a comment again, or Jack?
Excuse me, Charles, there is someone else just came into the Facebook page. Zoom page.
Michael Ortiz, welcome, Michael.
Welcome.
Yep. Hello, Michael. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Well, I like to speak up for the transit community, and the security on the subways is really an issue, and we hope to get this addressed.
I was, at the vigil yesterday. We're working very hard. We did a press conference yesterday for the 14-year-old who stabbed, and we also need volunteers to help us go to these vigils and events. I can't stress that enough. We're dealing with a lot of stuff. Every other weekend, it seems like there's a big crime in the subway, and we're headed. In fact, I think now that I'm thinking about it, most of the big incidents have happened on weekends. It's crazy, but we're doing the best that we can, but we need volunteers like you to join, Michael, and make a difference. It just starts with the little things and it all leads to there. So I encourage you to join our Facebook page if you haven't already. Check out our Twitter page and on YouTube. And yeah, we need volunteers to attend events. We need volunteers to make up colorful bus signs. We need volunteers to talk to people about, the Queen's bus redesign and issues like that. Jack, did you want to make a comment, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to get the word out. And I think one major way to do that now as well is on social media. So, in case you're not aware, we are active on Facebook, Twitter. We got Instagram going up. Speaking of Instagram, I think it's really important that if you are on Instagram now, please not only follow Passengers United, but also share it with other people so they can follow it and spread the word that we are active, we are fighting for equity, and we are all inclusive. And I think it's also important to take a look at our Facebook pages, our Twitter page. We are especially active on those, so just check us out. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. And also we have 15 minutes left before we end. So what I wanted to tell all of you, and I've noticed that we have a lot of people here from the 88 community, which is great. I'm really excited about that. And one of the things that I learned from Chris, I always take the stairs when I ride the system. I used to do that. Now I use the elevators to test all the elevators out. Chris, did you want to say something about that, please? And that what our volunteers can help with that?
There is one thing, because Andrew Kurzweil knows this story very well as well, so I don't have to worry too much. But the concern is that a lot of people are complaining is not just breaking down, but we have issues people doing peeing or doing other things. I'm not going to say that's inappropriate in this video. But we also need, we do need to remind people that if you see this issues, there is ways of putting in the complaints in. And the concern is the, a lot of these elevators do get clean at night, but I remind you that the reason why at certain late nights when no one is supposed to be using those elevators, they do have to be clean. And there are times that if an elevator breaks down, they do get alerts. There is alerts about them, but that's, not just on the subways. Long Island Railroad has that alert, Metro North has those alerts. But if we don't know this, let's say you travel on one of those elevators and you see all of a sudden it jerks, you need to call it in. We need your eyes, we need your ears out there. And if you see the ramps that has a hole or cracking, take a picture. Not just like Peter Herman says, it'll last longer, but it will help you to get something done because you may save a senior or a person with a disability out there. So I am encouraging everyone, as Charles will agree with me, we are going to be doing the accessibility committee starting this fall. And this will give everyone ideas and tricks and tricks and encouraging our elected officials. We asked them to put the funding in for accessibility, which, I have been advocating in my other hats, but I shouldn't just be one person. There are ways of getting accessible train stations and has worked. It's called support letters. A support letter means you pass it around to everyone and you can make like at least 20 or 30 of them, copy to your elected officials, and I'll say a city, a assembly, a state senator, and a Congress. And once in a blue moon, send it to a US senator. And I know someone's going eek, which is not true. It's not an eek. It's a serious matter because support letters are very important. And very important, send it to two Broadway. They need to see that too. But make sure on all the letters, it says CC to your elected officials because they need to see this. And if it doesn't get done, nothing will get done. We need those eyes and ears. But fighting is not one way. We need to advocate safely and carefully because there are ways of getting elevators. If the community can do it, if the civic associations can do it, we can all do it together. So please, put the support letters out there and it will get done. Charles, Joe, whatever his name is, has some questions on the chat he's been putting on the last
Yeah, I
5
think I
minutes.
answered. Oh, wait, I did not.
No, there was another question.
Yeah, so Pine Power is not here tonight. John Mitchell, he couldn't be here, but he does help us with Nice Bus. and he does all the stuff with Suffolk County Transit. He's real
No,
good with that.
no, the question is, and I'm just, because it's an accessibility question, he's talking about the Suffolk County accessory.
Right,
And
and John Lichno knows more about that. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know much about that.
I do.
Yeah, oh, you do, Chris. So can you answer that?
The problem what I'm hearing is with their accessory, for starters, they're expensive, number one. Number two, I'm seeing a lot of those vehicles, and I can tell you, they look very disgusting and not been updated. And I know I've been hearing a lot of those complaints. And I will say this again. I will say this because I said this to an OPWDD agencies out of Suffolk County. If you don't put the complaints in to and since they're not MTA, that is from that company, you should be sending it to the Suffolk County government relations over there and making sure you also CC to your elected officials. And that's the way to get it done. And I have reminded this because remember, Suffolk County has their own transit system and they have a complaint area. If you don't put it in or send it to elected officials, nothing will get done. So I hope that helps you, your answer, Joe.
Okay, Joe, I think he may have, he may
No,
be
he's there.
stepped away. I think he may have stepped away though. I don't. Okay, so I hope that answered your question. And like I said,
Oh, he said yes.
Okay,
He said,
okay, wonderful. And like I said,
Okay.
I plan to go out to Suffolk to ride the buses out there. We're also planning a trip out to Connecticut to do some trips. So we're gonna have a busy summer. It's gonna be pretty busy. And we're trying to do the best we can. One of the concerns I have for the EDA community is, you know, I'm scared to ride the elevators, and I know many people are scared. Can you just imagine what the senior citizens go through? Imagine you're a senior and some big tough guy gets on the elevator who looks very scary. So I understand what the community is going through with the EDPs and the homeless, riding the elevators, harassing people, they're urinating in the elevators. It's a very sad state of affairs. And we're trying to get the MTA to and the police to do more enforcement. I know Chris will agree with me in Brooklyn. They're enforcing the rules out there, but in other parts of the city,
no, it's not just Brooklyn, Charles. It's all of MTA because the reason why
no, I'm talking about the enforcement in
the
District 3.
enforcement for elevators, they are increasing with new cameras, like you saw at 34th Street, Howard Square. They have added newer cameras, not just one cameras in there, there are two.
No,
So-
but the cameras are just good for getting an image. You need people like in real time, police,
Yeah,
you know, riding security, riding those elevators. And I just want all of you to know that the MTA is reconsidering renewing the contract for Allied
Right.
Security, which is very concerning to me. I want the contract renewed. I know many of the Allied Security guards, and many of these are young people of, you know, color who are poor, and they're doing an excellent job. They're doing a better job in some cases than the police guarding those stations. So we need them in the system. You know, they're a first line of defense, and they're the ones who are calling the cops. So, you know, the police can be everywhere. And many times when you do call for police assistance, you're waiting there for almost 40 to 50 minutes. I know that was the case at 34th Street, Herald Square. This happened to me on 2 separate occasions. The first occasion was a guy who was trying to commit suicide on the 3rd rail. We called 911, pressed the intercom, no one bothered to show up for 40 minutes. And then we ended up enticing the guy to come off the tracks, and we were able to get him off the tracks. The second situation was we had a woman who was passed out. She had vomited. It may have been a drug overdose, and she was lying on the floor for 40 minutes. Called 911, they didn't come. The EMS finally came and they tell us, oh, we got the wrong information. So there's definitely a breakdown with the rail control center and the 911 system, and that has to be improved on. Especially for our seniors, I worry about them, you know, in our ADA community with those elevators, especially at night. You know, we have to do better than this. And we have to improve a lot of our bus stops. I know in the Bronx, they've eliminated a lot of bus stops. That's where the volunteers come in. You guys can help us go out there, walk with us, and make a difference. That's the type of real leadership and real change we need. So it's 7:53 now, or 7:54, and we're about to close out because we know the sundown is taking place today, the Manhattan Arch, everyone wants to see that. So in closing, is there any comments or any last words?
Yeah, I think one thing that you keep mentioning and is somewhat of an old edict of MTA, and that is basically if you see something, say something. And plain and simple, that's what we need everybody to do in all fashion in issues. Plus, also what you were saying with your complaints about where there were breakdowns and stuff, where with communication with things. Did you have to also report it to MTA? Make
Just
sure that-
bro, you're not gonna believe this. It was brought up 3 times to the police chief. It was brought up to the vice president. In fact, the night the first incident happened, the vice president, Sarah Meyer, responded to me. Nothing, the culture of New York City Transit does not change. They don't care about our safety. And
Charles,
that's,
you're breaking up a little bit. Can you speak a little clearly? Because you're gumbled that word.
so I said they don't care about our safety. They don't. And we have to keep pushing them and getting in their faces and contacting all electeds and getting on the news and making a big noise. And there's definitely people need to start suing New York City Transit. This is downright dangerous what's going on.
I got a question. I got a question. A question.
Yes,
My question is, how do you get into that? See something, say something? Do you have to text it in, or do you send a picture, or what? If you saw something and you had to say something, because I've heard
there
that
are
for
email,
years.
there are email address.
wait. Hold on, one at a time. Yeah. So let me answer that question. If we can. So what's important is there's the New York City Transit Twitter system, but the easiest way is you can call 911. You can even put in a 311 ticket now. You can call
311.
on your phone, and New York City Transit, that information will get there. But the easiest way, if you're on a platform, is you can press the help point intercom, the blue intercom, and you can just alert the station agent who can call it in.
Okay.
Problem we're
Okay.
having, Mrs. Hoffman, is we're doing all of that, and communication, the response time is taking 40 minutes. So there's
Really?
this. Oh, yeah, it's horrible, and I documented it on video. And the vice president was very upset because I posted that on the video. But I told her, I said, you know what? I said, your transit crews are getting assaulted. And a lot of times when the train crews are getting beaten up, it's taking the police 40 minutes to get to them. There was even a
That's terrible.
stabbing at Delancey Street where a woman was stabbed on the escalator. The cops didn't come to her until 40 minutes later.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm not really a subway rider. I ride a lot of Queens buses, though. A lot of Queens buses to get everywhere.
Great, I love that. And you know what? Not everyone rides the subway either. And I've been pushing for night owl bus service throughout the city because many people have night jobs, who have disabilities. Everyone's working. So we definitely need everyone to get involved. Karina Nieves has joined us. Karina, would you like to say a few words?
Hey, Charlton. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm running late. I was at Plaza College getting a dental cleaning. And it went.
Sorry, we
well,
hear some
it went too
background
long.
noise.
Say that again? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm at the Q10. Sorry, do you hear me?
Yeah, can we continue now?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was at Plaza College getting a dental cleaning. I'm waiting for the Q10 bus as usual. It's always a mess during rush hour. Trying to figure out which bus is leaving, the Rockaway or the Limited.
That's something always. Karina, we just mentioned the vice president post. Jack, did you want to go over that again? Because Karina she does a lot of civic engagement. Why don't you let me read it, Jack? Post it up and I'll read it.
Yeah, just bear with me. I'm getting it right up.
Yep, I'll read it. Let me do the reading this time. Karina, you're gonna love this post we're posting up. All right, Karina, can you see it? Everyone, can you see it again?
Yes, Charles, we can
Yes,
see it.
yes, yes, I can see it.
Okay. So let me read it to you. It says, Vice President of Leadership and Development and Recruitment. So the Vice President of Leadership, Development and Recruitment is essential at Passengers United. And this is a posting for June 2022. It's a volunteer part-time executive position. Obviously, it's non-paid. All of us are volunteers right now until we get funding. But the job description is basically a position. It's basically for an exceptional woman who can recruit, lead, motivate, and organize the activities and agenda of Passengers United. This job requires a lot of oversight and is demanding. Therefore, the individual must have good communication skills and be highly motivated. The responsibilities. The vice president will be responsible for recruiting interns, new women members, long-term volunteers, creating a hybrid women's leadership forum and award ceremony in mid-April, which would be virtual or in person, and must be able to recruit members of the community who ride buses in Queens for the 2022 bus redesign project. Overall recruitment will be conducted by social media, posters in community centers, and individual referrals by recruitment on college campuses. And the vice president must be able to communicate with the board of directors and executive director on progress with enrollment totals, diversity and recruitment goals on a weekly basis by emails or phone calls. Help will be provided by the entire team using our in-house designed web applications, forms, and posters. Furthermore, the vice president is charged with the following: and implementing policies in accordance with our mission statement, which relates to our programs and the organization's principles. The vice president must be able to serve as a liaison by working with the executive director to monitor membership, process volunteer forms, and conduct orientation. The vice president will also be responsible for organizing special events for ongoing projects like the Queens bus redesign. And the time commitment, like I said, is part-time. You know, it's like a 1 year or so position. Meetings will take place once per month. Emails and phone calls required 5 times per week or more, depending on the volume of the organization events that are taking place at the time. And the qualifications are: you must have a high school diploma and have accumulated at least 60 college credits while being proficient in Microsoft Excel, Word, or PowerPoint, and Access. And you must have strong entrepreneurial skills, be ambitious and independent, and have a willingness to learn new things, and have taken an intro to business class or have a financial understanding of the industry. And you will get free extensive training in nonprofit management. All of our executive team members and our volunteers will be trained before they go out there and hit the road. And if you want to email your resume or if you have any inquiries, you can reach me at my email listed there, or you can just call me at my cell phone number, which is on the posting. So that's pretty much it. We just, you know, if you know anyone that's interested, let them know. All right, guys. So, yeah, any questions?
How do you get to be a volunteer that's not like an executive position? How do you like join the organization you have here?
Well, that's what we said earlier. You know, anyone can help us with any bunch of errands that are needed to be done. We need volunteers to go to meetings, volunteers to post up notices on the buses, hand out brochures. So there's like a general volunteer that would fall into that type of category. And then the post that I just read is more for like an executive member. That's more for like a internship, that sort of thing. So we have your email. We'll definitely send you our promotional materials, and all of you that joined tonight will get that on the Zoom call. So I wanted to thank all of you because it's 8:03, and I promised we would be off the call.
Charles, you have one more person that popped in.
Yeah, it is late. Myra, thank you so much for joining.
Okay, is the meeting over then?
There's
Yeah,
one-
because we promised everyone we would be off, and I know Jack has things to do. Jack, did you want to see any closing comments?
Yeah, once again, thank you so much to everyone who showed up today. And I think the next step is to get involved, or at least consider getting involved. You can get involved in pretty much any way possible. You don't have to submit a formal application to do anything for Passengers United or for your community. And also, I just wanted to answer your question, Michael Ortiz, about what you're saying there. That's actually a great point to bring up at the next MTA board meeting. That will be on July 27th. That is a Wednesday at 10 a.m. And you can attend either virtually or in person. And of course, you can make remarks. They start their meetings with a public comment section where public speakers well, they definitely have to register beforehand, and they have 2 minutes to make remarks. So I think those points are definitely valuable to bring up there. So
And
I
I
just wanted
also
to
wanted to
as
jump
well.
in and say this. That's why we need volunteers at Passengers United, because we want to hold press conferences, events, rallies. Whenever there's something going on, we wanted people to come out so they can talk to the news media with us and talk to the electeds. We are in the process of getting some Queens Bus redesign meetings going. We might have 2 more in-person meetings. We're right now in talks with some electeds to get spaces. As soon as we get that stuff, you will know. Myra, since you joined late, did you really want to say anything?
No, I just
Go
wanted
ahead.
to see what was going on.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. And this is going to be on YouTube, everything that you missed. So we went over just the overall ADA policies. We talked about, what we do at Passengers United. And we did show some postings. So you can watch it on the rewind. And that's what I would suggest everyone to do. Jack is going to be posting this up. And he's recording this meeting. So definitely any comments, suggestions, anything, please pass it our way, and we'll be more than happy to respond back. So I do want
Definitely,
to
and you can. I just wanted to jump in as to exactly how you can respond. If you do have any further questions, suggestions, anything, you can reach out to us in several ways. Definitely on Facebook. You can DM us on Instagram. DM stands for direct message if you're not familiar with that. I think Twitter might have something similar as well.
Yes.
So those are definitely ways to reach out to us on social media. I'm not
And
sure,
you have my
Charlton.
number. My number is posted there as
Yeah,
well. You
that
can
too.
call
We
me.
posted Charlton's number as well in the chat. And so if you're interested, definitely save that. Probably now. But I will be saving this as well if anyone's interested.
And we are going to be doing upcoming events with the civics. We're going to be out there. Obviously, we are going to take a bit of a vacation because we all need a rest for a few days. But we'll be in and out. And, it was crazy because Saturday, I was actually kind of off. And there was the breaking news. And like right away, we put everything together. I got the press conference within a few hours ready for Sunday. And we were ready to go Sunday. So, I wish that we had more volunteers. We could do these things even better and on a greater scale and have a greater impact to the community. So we are here for you at Passengers United. Your voice matters. And this was our first volunteer event. We're going to be doing at least 4 more between now and September. So we do want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. We hope you have a safe night, and thank you for joining. And thank you, Jack Nyberg. Thank you, Christopher Greif. Thank you to Eric, who's been doing a great job. And just so many people, Jack, Michael, Joy.
Special
Andrew
thanks
joining
goes to
us.
the president of Passengers United.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Doug. I'm just honored to be serving the public. It's an honor for me to be able to work and to help and make a difference. This is what it's all about, helping the public. Oh, Karina
I
wants
just like
jump
to
in.
say, yeah, hey, I just wanted to say something. So I started my new job last week, and usually I would take the Q55, maybe just to go to Atlas Park Mall, not further than that. But I've been going to Ridgewood on the Q55 almost every single day during the 7 o'clock hour, and I have to say that bus gets used. Every single stop has like minimum like 2 people, 3 people at the least busy stops, and then the very busy stops up to 7 people. So the Q55, it definitely gets used. This lady today when I was coming back said, "Oh, this is the last stop?" And everyone was like, "Yes." So yeah.
We're very concerned about what's going on in MassPath. We reached out to the Juniper Civic Association. We didn't hear back from them. We've reached out to, there's a lot of stuff going on, but that's why I need all of you. All of you can make a difference. And I know Karina, Mrs. Naivas has been posting all over Queens on Facebook pages. We just want to thank you so much, for your leadership and advocacy and helping us. And even Eric, Eric at College Point was like, Charlton, you guys should come out here. And we came out there, and I had never been to College Point before, believe it or not. I think my second trip was coming to the actual meeting. The first time was going to the Papa Hewson Institute to check it out. And I learned so much about College Point. I had never seen that place. So this is why we all need to be engaged. We all need to support each other, come out to the communities and learn things. And we work very well with all the leaders out there. We're doing the best that we can. And I will say this, we are trying to put together a Jackson Heights Leaf Rock City meeting for the Queens bus redesign. What happened was because of election day, I had to work 24 hours. I know Chris was also working. So it was just very busy for us that week. And there was an election going on, and there was just a bunch of things happening. So we're going to try to do that meeting before the August election. And Myra's saying something. Hold on, let me read what Myra's saying. It's such a mess. I've been contacting local businesses as well. Yes, I'm trying to support College Point. I hope all the meetings will have a Zoom option. I have difficulty getting around. Jack, some people said they had difficulty coming on the Zoom. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
all the meetings will be a hybrid
definitely something
meeting.
yeah, definitely all the meetings will be hybrid. We will provide Zoom options, and we are working on making it even easier to get on. Like even with this Zoom meeting, we had a Bitly link with, and we're just trying to make it easier and simpler for people to access our meetings. And that's also why I don't think we're live streaming this particular meeting, but with the larger scale meetings, we'll be live streaming those to YouTube, stuff like that. And but yeah, that's what's happening. We're trying to make it easier to get on these meetings. But if there's anything that comes up, feel free to reach out. Again, if you're on Instagram or Facebook Messenger or whatever it is, I think especially with Instagram, since we actually just launched that, I think like a month or two ago, and we're trying to build our presence on that platform and really establish ourselves. I definitely think I'm definitely reachable. I'm the one who's managing that account right now. So, and you can easily direct message me if you have any questions. Again, it's just at Passengers United on Instagram. So.
Yeah, and also Maria Teresa Greco has joined us. Maria, thank you for joining us. We're about to end, but we're happy to have you on. So yeah, guys, definitely get involved. And the easiest way to reach me is on Facebook. I check the Facebook all night. I mean, I only get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Yes, he
but I'm always
does.
checking it. Yeah, and we're always working. Maria, did you want to jump in and see something?
Not in particular. Yeah, but I'm following along because, in my instance, mostly these days I've been traveling with Accessoride, and that's another story there.
You just
and it
spoke
would be,
about Accessoride. We're
and
getting a lot of complaints about it.
oh, yeah, I'm telling you, I had a most horrific ride yesterday with a driver who insisted he had the air conditioning on, which if he did, he must have had it set at a temperature way above 80 degrees, because I felt no cooling, I felt no wind, I couldn't open the window. The trip was half an hour at the height of the day, like 12:30 to 1 p.m. I was on my way to brunch. I mean, I was dizzy and lightheaded when I got out. I mean, literally, you had to ask the staff there. I mean, I went in and said, "Oh my God!" I said, I had to get into a chair, and of course, they always bring water, but they even brought extra ice for the water, and that shouldn't happen. I mean, because you have to think about it. You say, "Well, you were in a car that was moving." Yeah, but the sun was beating down. The windows were shut, and there was no air conditioning.
Maria, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add one thing, but it would be nice to have buses, the bus system working also for the disabled, and all these bus stop cuts are a huge problem.
That's why I was just about to introduce you to our new ADE Vice President of Compliance, which is Christopher. Chris and I and the whole team at Passengers United are now reorganizing and re-energizing. And I can tell you, Christopher is no joke. Don't mess with him. He will get he is on point. I'll let him talk.
I'm waiting for you. I'm enjoying this, Charles. So I'm enjoying this moment. First of all, let me answer this main question. And I know this is a question that everyone can answer. Well, did you put the complaint in? The number one question.
Yeah, I didn't get around to it today. I was kind of tired. Tomorrow, I do. I mean,
I gotta tell you, okay, the complaint was in 24 hours ago.
This happened Sunday, yeah.
You got to put it in no later than tomorrow, because after that, it's a dead case.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I'm making this very seriously. And because I made this, let me tell you something. I put in complaints with Accessoride, and let me tell you, I done with Accessoride. But here's the thing: to get the driver in trouble, you also must have an email account or a receipt that what vehicle number you were on.
Yeah. Oh, I have the information. I downloaded. Okay. I did screenshots, so I've got his information.
Bonus, good. Now here's the next bonus. I'm putting in the chat right now. Because if you can't get through on the phone, you can go on to the new mta.info customer feedback, because here's the story. The reference number, and John, don't interrupt Charles, because I know I could smell it from here. No interruption, John, because it's called Trick or Treat, and it's not Halloween yet. Once you put that complaint in, even with the pictures, you get a reference number. That reference number is so good to use, because let's say if MTA does not get back to you, or Accessoride doesn't get back to you by 4 business days, you can send that reference number to your elected official who represents you in your home area.
What, the city council?
City, what? I would suggest you go start from, if city doesn't help you, go to state.
Okay, okay.
Your choice of deck of cards. You can do city, or you want to go federal, you can go hard. But I do want to remind
that
you,
would be AOC for me.
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying this, the complaint procedure is very simple. Now let's not talk about bus stops. Let's talk about the Accessoride issue. Number one, your vehicle number you got, your Accessoride ID number, making sure where you're heading from plan A to B. And you just explained to us in a short sentence, the air conditioner wasn't on, you had a minor heat stroke, it sounded like.
Yeah,
okay.
I would agree.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna put that complaint in, and you're gonna make sure it's duly noted, because even once you get that reference number, they have to investigate that vehicle. And they're gonna ask them, really, let's check this air conditioner. Meaning
Mhm.
that vehicle, so if that vehicle gets missing somewhere, or say all of a sudden, no one put that complaint in, that vehicle could be somewhere else and someone else can have heat stroke. It needs
Yeah, I
to
was-
be done. And I'll say this, yes, earlier somebody said you call 311. That is another way you can also call in and put that complaint in as well. That's why there's reference numbers for a reason, because those complaint numbers does work. And I know somebody's writing saying the phone rings and they have to watch what they're recording. Yes, I know that because everything is recorded, Mira, because it is recorded. And I was going to say is do not lose your cool, act professional. And I'm saying this because the reason I'm glad Mira is on the same page with me is why should I be yelling at that person? What happens if that person is going to help me?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because
Right.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
we gotta act a little better. If they're gonna yell at me, let them yell at me. It's duty noted on any vehicle, bus, subway. Well, I'm gonna say that when the new subways comes in, buses, all MTA buses have cameras, not just in the front, not just inside the bus, but now in the back of the bus.
Mm.
So letting you guys know, be careful what you're saying. And especially no curse letters like R words or GD words.
No, no.
You know
Of
what,
course
this meeting,
and-
I just want to say, Maria, with your particular complaint, since you're in the 14th congressional district, I can speak to Maribel on your behalf, who works at the OC's office. And I think that she can help expedite your complaint, if that's okay with you, Maria Greco.
That's fine, sure.
Okay, so do me a favor, please
Yep.
put your information, send your information to Jack, and Jack can do that. Guys, before you all leave, I just want to say one thing. This meeting is sounding like our first EDE meeting, which I'm really excited about. And I think that all these volunteers here, how many of you would love to be on our EDE committee under Christopher's leadership as chairman? Show of hands.
Hmm. It's a matter of, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, the meeting would be just once a month on Zoom. You would just,
Oh.
share your concerns with Chris, or you can just email or text him.
I already
And
know I got a hand raised from
Yeah.
Andrew Kurzweil because I know that sneaky move he's doing.
because that was the plan all along.
I
to put
see.
You were gonna drag
Christopher-
me in anyway.
Why not?
And
Mhm.
the type of leadership we need. And Eric just
Yeah.
left, but I'm sure Eric, will give us feedback on College Point community issues. And
And
Karina,
just let everyone know, regarding College Point, I am familiar with College Point because remember, I traveled to Flushing a lot of times because there's one thing everyone's got to realize: there's Chinese food, and I do like to travel on certain bus lines, so I am familiar with College Point
right.
and all parts of all cities.
Chris,
So
hold up. So, Karina, if you hear any concerns about Accessoride as well, please post us in. Danny has also joined us at 8:21. We're about to close it out, Danny. Did
Yeah.
you want to say anything? Because we gotta
Yeah.
go. Take it away, Danny.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I guess.
I do have one thing I just want to mention. I have made a number of complaints to Accessoride, and it got me a phone call one day, finally, from the deputy director of outreach at
I know who she is.
Accessoride.
I
Donna
know who
Fredrickson.
she is.
Donna
That's right.
Fredrickson called
Close
me.
friend of mine.
Yeah, we had a long conversation.
And let me just tell you, she does, let me tell you something. I've been working with her since they got rid of all the idiot ones out. She's the human being one. And I'm saying this for a reason. She has a new team. And I will be honest with you, the outreach team does do the investigation. And she does get back. When she says she gets something done, she's going to investigate. This is not like in the past. Let me tell you right now, the new team they have now, they have to also respond to the system-wide accessibility that was created by Andy Byford. As I'm the member of ACTA, but also chair of technology information, so I am familiar with the Accessoride app, which you're all getting the new app coming soon.
Oh, wow. Really?
I should know. I'm the one, I've been going crazy about it. So
I
I
see.
know. But I'm gonna remind everyone, some of your cell phones, as you're aware, your cell phones are being upgraded from If you have 3G, you should be already going up to 4G or 5G by now.
5G. Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's not MTA's issue. That's a cell phone carrier issue. I do have
Right.
to say that because of safety.
Hmm.
Hey, Charles, you're getting a lot of fan clubs coming in here.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm also responding to the chats right now. So yeah, Maria, if you can just forward that information to Jack, and then Jack.
Yeah,
will
I was.
just-
How would I do that?
On the
Because
chat.
it's only giving me two options: everyone or Passengers United host.
Yeah, Passengers
Passengers
United,
United
Jack.
host.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah,
All
I'm the
right.
one behind that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
All right, guys. So it is getting late, and I know people have to eat dinner and go to bed for work tomorrow.
Unfortunately, Charles, you have one more person.
Oh, Deborah Rana. Hello.
Whoops.
Hello.
Hello.
I just joined it. I just saw that in the Facebook. I just joined it. Sorry for the late.
Okay, welcome. Nice to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, did you want to make any comments in particular?
Not at all right now. Thank you for that, but I have to look at it again. But I just joined it.
Okay, well, welcome. Honored to have you. So yeah, guys, I think for those of you who came in late, please watch the YouTube rewind. Because you know the plan was to have this from 7 to 8, or 8:30, which is now 8:25. Yeah, because we want to we like to make these meetings short and to the point, so everyone gets a chance to talk. Because the meetings are too long, people were complaining, so we just want to keep it to a point. So I think we're going to close it out, hearing that there's no concerns, and I think we addressed everyone. We give everyone an opportunity to speak. So yeah, definitely, guys. I just want to say a special thanks to Christopher for answering all the questions tonight. I think this ADA committee under Chris's leadership is going to be a rock star event, and I'm looking forward to just sitting on the sidelines and letting Chris do the talking, and I'll just be there. I'm looking forward to that. And Danny, did you want to say anything? We got to close it out.
No concern, Charlton. I have to go back to replay the video. Nothing.
Okay, got you. All right, guys. So yeah, thank you so much, and we will return all your concerns. And Maria, for some reason, if you can get through to me, on the chat is my phone number and my email as well. All right. But what I will do is I will send this video, guys, to AOC's office, because I think a lot of the concerns here, we've gotten a lot of concerns about Access-a-Ride. I'm concerned about it. But, you know, when we were putting together Passengers United, I said we needed someone strong who was good on ADA. And the only person I could think of is Christopher. You know, under Chris's leadership, I think Chris is a person that is grounded with MTA, like I am, but he's more grounded on the ADA side. And he will be able to get to the bottom of a lot of these issues as best as he can, because he'll be able to disseminate the information to the right people at the MTA. Andrew's smiling, so he knows what I'm talking about. And Chris is smiling, but that's our job.
Oh, I'm smiling because I know Andrew is laughing. He knows already something.
Oh, did Andrew want to say something? I'm sorry.
No, but I
I
just
don't
want to
know.
say.
Oh, okay.
No, but I'll say one thing, and be quiet, Andrew. I do one thing I want to make clear. Some people came in late. I am also a member of the ACTA, which stands for Accessibility to the Transit Accessibility. So that is my title. So I do work with Donna Ferguson, Tammy, and Shirley. But I also work with Long Island Railroad ADA Task Force. So I am dealing with Long Island Railroad and the subways and buses. And I'm also one of the testers of Omni. But I'm also on the subcommittee chairperson of Technology and Information. So anything you may saw me or somebody saying, wait a minute, he looks familiar. Well, yes, I'm testing the Omni Reduced Fare card, which is a test card. They have not gotten it out yet, but they will be getting them out soon. As Charles mentioned, it is a recording video. Suggest you re-look at that video, study it, learn it, and it'll be like your new Bible book. But it will give you the purge information, because right now we're up to step 1. one thing is, Michael, is we are trying to get more accessible train stations, which we did win the settlement, and we're very happy about it. And as you know, that certain stations are being updated with newer elevators as they're being replaced. Thank God they're being replaced with additional cameras, but also proper lighting is number one. So if you're having issues with lighting areas in your neighborhood, that's not just MTA. You need to call 311 for DOT complaints as well. So please make sure you have that information with you as well. And a lot of on my accessibility committee, I will always, hear some issues, concerns.
I'm having trouble hearing you. I have to leave the meeting. Can I go?
Sure. I'm sorry about the audio issues.
It's all right. I have to leave the meeting. And so I can leave right now?
Yeah, whatever you can. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Bye. Thanks.
Okay, bye. Sorry about that.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah, guys, so definitely I think Chris will be following up with all of you. And we'll in the coming days, we'll be posting a lot of the stuff about the future EDE meetings and that committee. I think that whole EDE task force and committee will, be running itself under Chris's leadership. And we wanted to do this right, we wanted to get this right.
Will come in this fall of 2022. We don't want to say the dates yet because we are seeing that right now as we are celebrating Disability Pride Month. We should be all, if you hear those events going around, please try to attend those events. I know there's one this coming Sunday at Central Park. You can contact Accessorite there as well. So that information is available on the Facebook, which I know, Jack, I'll be putting that back on for you again to make sure they got it. You can stay tuned for a lot of events that are coming up. If any events comes up for accessibility, I'll make sure it's shared on the Passengers United as well.
Oh, great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed. Trust me, we will. And I'll actually do some YouTube videos. We actually did do an elevator tour. Last year, we did an elevator tour on the 7 line. We actually visited all the elevators, and oh boy, was that an eye-opener.
Oh, yeah, please. The 7 line, I mean, I can't, it's like unusable for somebody like me.
I spoke to Noreen at AOC's office. We've been trying to get them because I told AOC in the 14th congressional district, but you have to understand the 14th congressional district is now changed. It no longer covers Jackson Heights. So, you might, I don't know if you're still in AOC's
I believe I'm still in it. Yes. I don't know how, but I am, because I'm kind of closer to East Elmhurst. That's the official post office address for me.
Oh, actually, I think East Elmhurst was taken out.
Look, I don't know. I called up AOC's office and they checked.
And they did. You're still in there.
That's what they said. If they said it, hey.
Well, guess what? The election isn't until August anyway. It wouldn't take effect till January of next year. So you're still in the district for the next 4 to 5 months without whatever changes. Yeah. So don't worry. She'll help you. She'll be able to assist you. So again, I think, Jack, it's time because we have to all go. We've been here for like an hour and a half. Again, we're going to be putting this committee together. Jack, is it okay? Do you want to stay late or do we have to close it down now?
I mean, I know I have some things I have to get done. I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to prolong any further.
Yeah, so we did start like at 7:01 p.m. exact, and we did go into the presentation. For those of you who missed it, you can watch it on the rewind. Kim, thank you for joining us as well. I see you. And if you have any comments, Kim, please join our Facebook page, Passengers United, our Twitter page, and our YouTube page, and also Instagram. Guys, it's been an honor tonight hosting this along with Christopher, Jack, and the whole team of Passengers United, and all of you that came out tonight. Thank you for spending your Monday night with us. We are so humbled and grateful that you joined us. And again, thank you and have a good night.
Thank you for all the work you've been doing, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Charlton and all of you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a good night,
everyone.
Be safe.
Be safe. Thank you.
Be safe. Right. Love and peace.
Love and peace. Yep.
Amen. Amen to that.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.